trade, where the bold and the fearless are made. From London to New York, the thrill's the same. Step into the beat of the Hola prying game. Fortune favors those who dare. In the heartbeat of the market we declare, Hola playing is more than a name. It's the pulse of the trade, the trader's flame, the trade. Chasing the charts under neon skies. Hola prime's the name where the profits rise. Fingers on the keys, dreams taking flight. We trade the future, we own the night. Hola prime, the rhythm of the trade, where the bold and the fearless are made. From London to New York, the thrill's the same. Step into the beat of the Hola prime game. Candles dancing on the screen's bright glow. Risk and reward in the ebb and flow. Through the highs and the lows, we play this game, fueled by the fire of the Hola prying name. Every tick, every move tells a tale. Navigating storms, we will prevail. The charts are our canvas, profits our aim. Pain and success with the Hola prime. Hola prime, the rhythm of the trade, where the bold and the fearless are made. From London to New York, the thrill's the same. Step into the beat of the Hola prime game. Every tick, every move tells a tale.
Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Hola Prime Market News Update. Breaking news: White House says Russia-Ukraine meeting plans are underway following Trump's meetings with both Putin and Zelensky. No date is yet confirmed. Furthermore, Japanese economic data came out today. This evening, we had an assortment of Japanese economic data released. Japanese imports year over year came in at negative 7.5% in July, better than the expected figure of negative 10.4%. Japanese exports year over year registered at negative 2.6%, below expectations of negative 2.1% in July. Japanese machinery orders year over year came in at 7.6%, above forecasts of 5% in June. The month-over-month figure came in at 3%, above expectations of negative 1%. The Japanese yen had a small gain of about 0.12% on the day, and the USD JPY pair is currently trading at 147.77 as of this writing. U.S. equity markets saw larger selling pressure today as the S&P 500 futures dropped 0.52%, closing at 64.35. The Nasdaq lost about 1.38%, closing at 23,497, while the Dow Jones showed more strength due to some relatively positive earnings from companies like Home Depot in the index. The Dow was able to recover its earlier losses and closed green on the day at 45,025. For FX pairs, the US dollar showed strength today amongst the major currency pairs in a volatile trading day for equity markets. The Euro USD tried pushing upwards today, but ultimately closed in the red, losing about 0.1% in the trading session. Currently, the pair is trading at 1.1656. CAD USD saw larger selling pressure, logging a 0.5% loss today, and currently is trading at 0.722, an area in which we saw a sharp reversal back on August 1st. GBP USD is currently trading at 1.3481, down about 0.17% from the August 19th open. The Swiss franc was slightly down today, losing less than 0.1%, but currently trading at 1.2403, which is down roughly 0.15% from the close. Lastly, the New Zealand dollar fell by 0.5% in the trading session, closing at 0.5899, where it also is currently trading. Cryptocurrencies continued their 1 week slide today. Bitcoin dropped $3,275, or about 2.8% from the previous day, and is currently trading at $113,088 as of this writing. Ethereum saw one of the largest percentage drops on the list, losing 6.14%, and is currently trading at $4,095. To touch on some other coins, we have Litecoin down 4.1% and trading at $113.45. XRP is down 6.21% and trading at $2.88. And Solana down 3.32%, trading at $177.53. For the commodity updates, we have gold futures continued their slide down, closing red on the day at $3,359 per troy ounce, or about negative 0.58%. Gold futures are currently trading at $3,357 as of this writing. Silver futures finished down 2% from the previous day closing at $37.33. Silver futures are currently trading at $37.31. WTI crude oil futures sold off by 0.93% today, closing at $62 per barrel, but testing as low as $61.65 on the day. Tomorrow we have crude oil inventories data coming out at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Key events tonight, we have Chinese 1-year and 5-year loan prime rates, along with the New Zealand official cash rate and monetary policy and rate statements being released. Tomorrow, we have some more international economic market news, starting with UK CPI, core CPI, and RPI year over year data. Furthermore, we have the FOMC meeting minutes release at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as a couple of Fed board members speaking in the afternoon. Now, without further ado, it's time for our Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger, so let's get to trading. It looks like we made it. Hey there, Coach Tiger.
How's it going today?
It's going, man. It's going good. It was a good trading day for me. How about yourself?
I made a cup of coffee.
Nice. Hey, sometimes that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. I got to the 1-to-1 on that gold attempt that I opened up yesterday. It got up to about 2.5-to-1 at one point, but I just left it at the 1-to-1 or at the break even after it hit the 1. Actually, I waited till 2-to-1 on that one. And it went back and clipped me out. And I guess it had to do with, oh, dang it, my light just went out. I guess it had to do with the copper tariffs or something. So Trump, they talked something about, well, there went my light. Something about the tariffs news, and it affected gold as well, gold and silver. So it kind of drug everything down. Sorry, guys and gals. Let me figure out why my light just went off.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I did see some. I did see some of that. I did see the headlines on the copper tariff stuff, but I didn't really
Yeah.
read too much into it, to be quite honest. So I don't know really all the terms and conditions of what it meant. But I did
Yeah.
see it earlier today.
Yeah. So as soon as that came out, yeah, it just wicked down on gold and stopped me out. I was hoping that would have been a bigger winner, but it is what it is. It was a smaller demand zone, only a 15-minute zone. I don't know why my light went out. I guess I look okay on stream.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'll have to figure that out. It was a cheap Temu light. Maybe I should upgrade it. It's behind my laptop facing me, and then I have another one facing kind of this way. So it'll just do its job. Anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm just kind of at not really sitting in any positions at the moment because of that. But
well, real quick, Ultra Maximus says you look good in any light, my guy. He's complimenting you. So
appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I know we gotta keep our lighting good. The YouTube stream went down. Let me see what happened here.
Did it?
Quiet markets. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
I think we're good.
I had to reset it. Oh, Coach Paul, let me tell you, I got into a fight with TradingView today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I upgraded it. Well, I upgraded to the next higher package, and so I could get my 4 charts at a time rather than just 2, which I still need to play around with it before I use it on stream. But I was trying to figure out how, just very simply, to when you have 4 charts, you select a different asset. It makes that asset go to the other 3 charts.
Right.
And I spent 45 minutes yelling at my computer, yelling at TradingView, yelling at DeepSeek because I was enlisting its help to help me find it, and it just wasn't giving me the correct spot. And so, back end, if you don't mind, go ahead and flip on over to my chart real quick. I'll show anybody if they ever need to know where this silly setting is. But yeah, I was just very simply trying to, select. Well, like if I have, actually, let's do this. Yeah, because I opened it up like this. So this is my 4 chart. So very simply, if I select an asset, I was trying to figure out how to get it to move to the other 3. So I realized, no help from DeepSeek, that you have to actually click on the layout type and select the symbol button down here. So when you do that, you turn it off and then you change your asset, it'll stay on just the chart that you're using. But when you flip it on, when you flip that on, it syncs it. So I've done it before, but I just forgot how to do it. So anyway, I thought it would be a quick and easy fix, but no, it took like 45 minutes. So needless to say, I'm a little behind on my analysis at the moment.
This is what happens when you use multiple softwares and stuff. Sometimes you just forget how to do things in certain softwares, and it's just, I mean, I've been there. I'll tell you that. So definitely been there before.
Yeah. So so I got my blood pressure down to normal now, I think, finally. But just to finish off the thought about the gold. So yeah, it was this 15-minute demand that I had bought into yesterday about 7 Central, right off of here. It bounced up nicely. It went quite high, but I probably should have locked in some of these gains, but I left it under this little level here. And then, pretty much just kind of came crashing back during the morning time whenever that copper news came out. Kind of took out gold, took out silver, and then I forgot what copper's ticker is. Yeah, that's it. XCU USD. Yeah. So all of them just kind of dropped, all the metals there all at once. So no biggie. Kept a cup of coffee out of it. So thank you, Mr. Market. Thank you. Appreciate that cup of coffee.
Unexpected headlines are the worst, man. I hate that with a passion, I'll tell you. Anything that just unexpectedly comes out that whips you out of something, it sucks, but it's just part of the game. I know it's part of the game, but it still sucks.
Yeah. And I still have gold and silver as a bullish 7 for gold, bullish 9 for silver. So they're still bullish. They just dropped about 3 points because I think gold this morning was well, no, I guess gold was a 7. Silver was a 10 or 11 or something like that. So yeah, it really, relative to all the other economic data out there, it really just dropped it just a little bit, but still a bullish signal. So yeah, I mean, I think my next play on gold's still just going to be this same 3,300 level I've been looking at down here on the left. That's nothing's really changed in that area. Looking at it on a 4-hour, and that's actually a smaller time frame. But I got this 4-hour below it, kind of a zone on top of a zone. Somewhere in this area, I should get a bounce. But that's always the $1,000,000 question, right? When are we going to get that turn? So.
Yeah, that is for sure. And man, I feel like I need to get short right now in these indices, and but I'm at the low end of the overnight and everything. So it feels, I hate shorting the lows. It's like I'm naturally inclined to not allow that to happen, but a part of me feels like this could start
Troy
breaking down. Yeah, I really am, honestly.
You want to show us what you're looking at there?
Yeah, I could show you guys for sure. I could definitely show it. I do have my screen shared, so whenever the crew can get it up, that'll be great.
Yeah, I'll take a look at a couple of my items here on the side.
All right. So the Dow, you can see this is an ugly chart for sure, but the Dow right now trading at 44,975. I'm looking to possibly get short and have a stop above the 45,005 mark ish. So about 20-ish ticks away, I would have my stop at. But glad that I impulsively did not get into that short, because it looks like the market is giving me a little bit of an entry point possibly here. And then I'm also looking at the NASDAQ. Looking at the NQ right now at a possible short as well. Would really like to short closer up to this 21 period EMA around 23,416. So it doesn't look like it's going to give me that opportunity, if we're being honest. It just quickly dropped down here. I think I'm going to have to get short here. Gosh, this is a tough one.
Flip a coin.
This is a tough one.
Yeah,
it's like the price action right now is actually whippy. It's very whippy at the moment. It's like very indecisive on whether or not it wants to just drop now. The whole thought with the Dow is to short it to get to the previous day's lows, somewhere around 44,900. So it'd be about 70 points. So I'd be looking for in the Dow. It's the strongest one of the indices today, so that's why I'm looking to possibly short it as well. I think I am going to. Let me look at the volume again real quick. Let me look at this volume.
That
see
was
if I can't
for
find any
Dow. You said
Dow
futures.
Yeah, we just saw a lot of volume come in, and the selling pressure did not equate to an actual break. So that's kind of what is stalling me at the moment. I just saw a lot more volume than I was expecting on this last candle here. And it is just, let's see on the 1 minute. 1 minute. You can kind of see it at the bottom here on the blue candle. Volume was relatively higher, and it really didn't amount to too much. But I think that if the drop's going to happen, it's going to happen in a minute here. So I'm gonna get in short, and I'm going to actually put my stop. I'm going to keep it actually tight. And if we do blow through this little like miniature like hump of sorts, I guess you could say, if we blow through that for some reason, then I can always look to get back in at a better price here in a short if I still think it's a short. and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's gonna be the trade for now. Let's see if I gotta adjust my target profit here. Let's look for 44,909, about 9-ish ticks above the 44,900 level. That sounds pretty decent. Relatively comfortable with that. And what's the NASDAQ doing right now? Let's see. Okay. NASDAQ is slightly holding up here, ever so slightly. But I think the moment the NASDAQ, I think all three of these markets are now kind of in tandem with each other. I think they're all like just confluent with each other at the moment. So once we see one breakdown, I think we're just going to see the others go. And it looks like it's starting to happen possibly here. So I'll switch back to my position. Here it goes.
Yeah, they've
All right.
all of the indices fell off of my bullish sentiment recently as far as my fundamentals. So yeah, like Dow is only showing a score of a 1, which is neutral. Nasdaq, just for context, let's see here. Nasdaq, where's my stuff at? S&P is all the way down at a -4. So yeah, it's more bearish than anything. Nasdaq -1, yeah, and then Dow +1. So pretty well neutral on those two. Yeah, the only index I'm watching right now is the Nikkei. It's giving me a +7, and then DAX, yeah, it's only a 3. So yeah, as far as indices go, I'm just, and obviously us being in the Asian session, I'm gonna start keeping a lot closer eye on some of the smaller time frames for the Nikkei, since we do get typically a lot more volume in this session.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the U.S. indices, I just don't really have a play right now.
Right.
At the moment.
Yeah. And I'm contemplating getting short another contract here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether I want to. Yeah, like I'm. The thing is like look, oh, dude. Okay, if you can see my screen, this is hilarious. Okay, the Dow, like this is the last close here. You might be able to see this huge gap. It's a literally, it's a 4-tick gap. So I mean that 4-tick gap, that's brutal, to be quite honest. I probably should not trade the Dow after this, because it's just there's not enough volume. As much as I like the short thesis on the Dow more because it has more room to fall and there are better levels that I see, like to get to like a target profit of sorts to the downside. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best product to trade simply just because of liquidity, honestly. So especially with getting fills or whatever, you know what? I'm going to get short one now. I'm going to get short another. I'm going to give it. I'm going to get, like, the point is this, I'm in this trade already. So I'm going to allow it to like happen. Like it's still a decent trade. It's just now seeing the liquidity like drying up massively since I've taken the trade is concerning. So yeah, I think, you know what, I'm not going to add to this. I'm just going to let it go. The NASDAQ kind of looks like it, it wants to show me something here. So I'll let it go, and, we'll see. Small loss, if anything, into a trade early in the session. I'm happy with it. But yeah, what else we got going on here? We got GC, got gold. So what's happening with gold right now? Not a whole lot. Am I right? Not a whole lot. Jeez,
yeah. Well, we definitely have I can definitely see people being careful since we have the New Zealand rate coming out here in 36 minutes. Yeah, it's coming out fairly quick. Where they're supposed to drop 25 points on their cash rate. I was trying to pre-position for a New Zealand dollar trade, but I just didn't. It just like most of the currency pairs yesterday, part of today, just went sideways, right? Just kind of like your indices that you said. Was the price action much better today for you as far as the indices, or was it still range bound?
Oh yeah, no, it was fantastic. It was great.
Yep.
It was a lot better.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, you did have good action. Yeah, just now looking at it.
I
Futures.
was able to make some money. I made like $500 on the day, so I made back my Monday loss. So that's nice. Basically flat on the week. So I will take it. Good day.
I bet Troy had a field day then today, didn't he?
You would think he wasn't on session today. He wasn't on the session today.
Yeah,
but I said the same thing, man. I was like, I bet you Troy.
Yeah,
Troy's got to be licking his lips. Yeah,
licking his chops. Yep.
But I do know Troy is a very very much enjoys like short scalpy markets. Where he can get on like big moves that happen relatively quickly, which I think there were a few of them this session. So I think he probably did well today. But he has talked about like wanting to hold shorts longer if like it's working for him, learning how to hold it a little bit longer, because a lot of the time he's like kind of like Sam, scalpy a little bit, like in and out relatively quickly. He will hold for like minutes at a time, but would prefer to like kind of get in, just get the move real quick, get out, but I wonder, definitely ask him tomorrow how he did.
Yeah, I chuckle with watching Sam trade because he says, I'm in, and before he can finish his analysis, he's out.
I told him, I was like, honestly, at this point, man, just say, like, when you go to talk, just say I'm out, because you're just wasting your breath if you say you're in and then you're out. Like, you just say you're out and then tell us what happened.
Right. Whatever it takes. It seems to be doing it well. Oh God, that's funny.
No,
I get it cracking.
We love Sam though. Like I get a kick out of it. I love it, and I love his trading style too. So it's pretty like awe-inspiring, to be quite honest, how good he is with the scalping, especially in the NQ. He's been honing his NQ skills with the volatility of the NQ, and it's really showing. So yeah. Yeah,
I feel we're similar in the sense that silence is our kryptonite. Like, I don't know how to be quiet. I'm always humming or singing a tune or making a silly noise.
That's so.
A friend of mine said
great.
that, Tiger, your silence is your kryptonite, and it makes total sense. Always saying something. Probably why my voice is always hoarse.
I am like, we are literally gapping up and down by like 5 to 7 ticks on the Dow right now. It is so gross to look at. I'm like down $10 or $20, and then I'm up like 30 or 40 or 20. It's this is gross. This is gross to look at, to be quite honest. Part of me wants to just be out of it for the sake of not looking at this, as Sam would say, this filthy chart anymore. Maybe I get into an ES or something here, but I want the Dow to work out. That's what I just want, the Dow more than the others.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's see some more volume pile in here, please. Please.
Let me see what I can find. Now, did you say, I know you said you don't trade the Nikkei futures, but is that something that's even on the X chart?
Yeah.
All prime chart?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. /NKD. I will be trading Nikkei futures for sure. I will try and do it today in the practice account. Actually, we'll take a look at it as soon as I'm done with this
Yeah.
trade here. I'll
Yeah.
give it a look,
Okay.
and yeah, honestly, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely just hold this YM. I think unfortunately I can't move my stop for a while. Like this has to go another 20 points in my favor to even. Oh, here we go. Come on.
Like that.
Yeah,
Like that.
markets are selling off. Yeah, this needs to
There you
keep
go.
going in order for me to even consider moving my stop to break even. Because even if I move it to break even, it could wick me out like for a $20 loss because of how spready everything is. So
Mm-hmm.
just
How
kind
wide
of
is
gotta
your
let this do it.
how wide is your spread at the moment?
Right now, it says that it's like 3 ticks, but it's not. It's like 5 ticks.
Oh wow,
You'll
yeah.
see the bid ask is only like 2 ticks. There's like only 2 ticks or so in between the bid and ask, but it's really like five
Mm-hmm.
ticks. Don't let that fool you. It's
Oh, is that their way of getting you? The broker's way?
yeah, it's a lot worse than that for sure.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
How
but
rude.
that's just the overnights. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I like this action so far, though. That was a lot. I mean, you can see the amount of sell pressure that just came in there. That was a lot of contracts that moved the market
Mm-hmm.
down. But is it going to continue? Come on, continue. Part of me only doesn't want to, I don't want to be too greedy and, expect this to dump another 60 points. Maybe I move my target up to 920 instead, which is where that's where the low
Mm-hmm.
was during the equity imbalances in the last 10 minutes of the day. So yeah, I'll move it closer to there. Definitely 44,925. See if we can't. That's only about 30 more points in my direction here. We've already moved 20 points, so come on. What's another 30? Come on, Dow.
Exactly.
Let's go. What's another
Just a
30?
few more. Yeah.
Big bid just appeared on the NASDAQ at 23,380, currently trading at 23,384. We dipped down into that bid there, absorbed like 80 contracts, and then it bounced up a little bit. But I have a feeling sellers are going to want to try to get there again. Oh, the bid just went away, and we plummeted through. Okay, come on. Follow, Dow. Just follow. Follow
Sink.
suit. Come on.
Sink.
Go.
Sink.
Why is the
Yeah,
Dow not going?
I've been.
Sorry, what?
No, I was just trying to find a spot in the Nikkei to jump in myself, but I don't really have the volume. VSA. Ignore that. See if we can't find another market here. Look at some of my alerts here. Where am I at? Possibly dollar Japanese yen sell if I can get another 15 pip retracement. A little bit of a supply zone ahead of that. Euro Aussie just bounced off of a demand, but I need one a little deeper. Volume ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be chasing if I hopped in now because it was one that looks like it hit while I was fighting with TradingView. 7:15. Oh, I did. I was yelling. It's probably why my voice is hoarse. Where's the button? Where, DeepSeek? You keep saying look for the circles. You keep saying look for the broken chain. You keep saying look for sync layout. None of that stuff is there. I was going ahead.
I'm not. Yeah, I can imagine. I'd be in the same boat, man. Like none of it's there.
Well, I'm just
Literally
mad because
nothing.
it took away all that time. Took all the way all that time I was trying to do analysis. I should have just waited. I should have just waited and upgraded my account after. But you know how you get those pop-ups from time to time. Buy this, save this much, or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll jump into it because I've been wanting to upgrade anyway. Now I've got twice the alerts and obviously the 4 charts. I was gonna upgrade to the next package up, but I don't. Only because of the volume footprint. Well, I don't really need that right now, especially on currencies. It really just doesn't work. From everything I've been reading, it doesn't appear to work very well, and it makes sense. Um, so I don't know. I just need to do a little more research on it. So, but now I
Yeah.
shouldn't run out of alerts like I do
Let's
typically
go.
do from time to time.
Hey, I was even looking
Uh,
at TradingView myself for like getting like an upgraded account and stuff. There's a lot of good stuff on there. There's a lot of stuff that's very useful, especially like the
mm,
footprint stuff and whatnot that Sam uses and
yeah,
everything. And I was contemplating it for sure.
yeah,
I pay for so much
yeah.
stuff
Just for
already. I'm
kicks.
like, for me, I'm
Yeah,
like,
do you?
gosh, do I want to add another subscription? I was like, geez, Louise, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, I mean, just for my fun account, yeah, I was gonna reopen a penny stock account and just test out the footprint on it. That was one of the things I was wanting to look at, see if
nice,
that helps or not.
nice, very
Play with
nice.
the retailers, the retail traders. Mm,
You know, I could have just been over, like, done with this if I had just gotten a short in the NQ instead of the Dow. I'm kind of kicking myself. The Dow
yeah,
or the NQ is doing the quicker move here. Would have given me my money quicker, that's for sure. Um, while the Dow just like is giving me rib shots at the moment. It's just shooting me giving me liver shots, rib shots. I mean, like it's in my favor, but it's just taking a while and it's so spready. So you know, it's trying to beat me up. But I mean, look at that. It drops 6 points and then recovers it within a half of a second. Uh,
yeah.
it's atrocious, absolutely atrocious.
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
YM.
Well,
I always think of Yum Brands. I see YM. A friend of mine, actually a bowling teammate of mine, he has a ton of investment in the Yum Brands, and that's how he makes. I mean, a lot. I guess he used to work for the company, and so he has just tons and tons of shares, and just makes most of his money just from collecting the dividends from his Yum Brands investment.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that an
Uh,
Asian stock? Is that a where or is
well,
I
it's
can't remember.
it's KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut parent company.
Oh, got it. It's like
Yeah.
the yes, yeah, got it. Okay, now I
Yeah.
because I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of a furniture store. I think that was called,
Oh,
called Yum Yum or something, but which is weird. But yeah, I was thinking of the completely wrong thing there. So
well, that reminds me of
that's
the Yum Yum sauce, which is the best stuff ever.
dude, that's
Get it
delicious.
Chinese restaurants. Oh yeah, gosh, that stuff's
Oh
it's probably the most unhealthy thing on the list, but oh, it's so good.
yeah. It's the truth, but I don't care. I don't care.
Right, once in a while. Yeah, in
Yeah.
limitation, right?
Okay. I am I am out of this. I'm done with this.
Yeah,
I'm done
you're
with this
over it.
trade. I think I'm over this trade. It's getting. I'll take the $100. Honestly, I'll take the P&L of 100. Watching it is. I just don't enjoy watching that at all. I'll definitely get into some other trade here, but tr- just trading the Dow in that kind of spreadiness overnight is not fun, and it's kind
No.
of just it's kind of honestly most of the reason for watching it is like or for getting out of the trade is like watching it gives me a little bit it keeps my heart rate up a little bit, which I don't like. That like I don't enjoy like
Oh
seeing
yeah.
a trade go against me 7 ticks. Like you don't see like an actual execution happen for like to like 7 ticks above or below where the current like prices, quote unquote, in the market. And like seeing that kind of jumpiness is just not for me.
It's not fun.
I'll switch over to the NQ here And yeah, log my 97.20. Thank you. Put it in the bank. Let's see if we can't get short the NQ here. Maybe. I don't know my levels though to get where I'd be taking profit. Honestly, that's the problem right now with the NQ. Got to take a little bit larger look out here. Maybe 23,339.
Yeah, my list is a lot
It's a lot
little
thinner.
bit thinner than even last week. Little thin. Well, a little bit. So, yeah, I still currently have dollar Japanese yen as the strongest bearish item at minus 11. Dollar Swiss, and that's actually, I think, a point. No, I think that's the same score it had last night. Dollar Swiss is the second most bearish, minus 8. U.S. oil is the third. Well, it's tied with the dollar Swiss at minus 8. So, really, just those three bearish items I'm keeping an eye on. Euro pound, I think, was on my list last night, but it's gained a point, so it's minus 4 now. So I'm still going to keep an eye on those minus 4s. S&P 500 is a minus 4, which probably won't be interested in selling it, but it's just
Right.
It is given that reading at the moment because of all the recent fundamental data, just like the other indices, which is why everything dropped off my bullish to neutral. But yeah, S&P had the hardest fall because as I mentioned yesterday on the COT report, that was the biggest sell-off that the banks did was the S&P. So yeah, it's got an even less score, minus 4. So not quite bearish territory as far as an actionable trade setup or short sell setup, but yeah, it's close enough. So that's the bearish side. And then yeah, still silver at a 9, gold at a 7, Nikkei at a 7, and that's it as far as the actionable bullish items. But real close behind, I do have some 4s. I do have pound Aussie dollar, euro dollar, and pound dollar. Those are all 4s. So
Okay.
I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that as well. Just kind of try to expand my range a little bit, or my list a little bit, but obviously on the smaller time frames where it doesn't matter as much. So I'm a little more lenient on the smaller, the scalping, the 5 to 15 minute. A little more lenient just because it's naturally going to ebb or flow no matter how strong of a bullish or bias or bearish signal I have, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of my mindset, just kind of going down my list here. Silver.
All right.
But yeah, it's definitely a weaker evening, obviously partly because we got that data coming up here in now 17 to 18 minutes. So that ought to get the New Zealand flying around a little bit. Definitely be seeing a drop.
Maybe
nothing else.
Maybe what we do is right before that happens, we get your screen up there maybe for a few minutes before, kind of take a look at the New Zealand pair and New Zealand USD pair and see how it moves around. Are there expectations for them to cut at any point, or do you know? Or
yeah,
no?
they're expected to drop 25 points. So yeah, they're currently at 3.25%. So they're forecasted to drop to 3%. And let me see here. I'm just looking at the history off screen. So yeah, they were all the way up at 5. It's like about 5.25% back in August of last year. So yeah, they've dropped from 5 down to 3.25 just in a year. So they're doing a nice little, and a lot of other currencies are too, except for the dollar, which everybody in the world knows, since President and Chairman Powell are having their little differences on that policy piece. But yeah, let me go to the New Zealand. I was wanting to look at the futures market first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
New Zealand future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just going out to a daily time frame. It's just kind of like what I said yesterday. I haven't seen a whole lot of pricing in, that they're dropping. If you're just looking at the market, I mean, the charts, because there's the futures, which is obviously going to look very similar, if not the same as the index itself. Just the index is a lot gappier, but we don't trade the index, obviously. the index as opposed to the futures. So, yeah, just going to the New Zealand dollar pair itself, yeah, they're all going to look similar, but I don't know. I mean, normally when you have news coming out, that you're going to have an increase in rates or a drop in rates, you tend to see quite a bit of fluctuation, but really haven't seen a lot. Anything that I see is out of the ordinary. So, yeah, I would definitely expect, as long as that's true, see a drop in price. Now, it may just drop right into like a demand zone and just pop right back up for all we know. But, you know what? Yeah, and see, I would have gotten into this area here, but it's just the exit candle, the leg out candle didn't drop very far at all. So that didn't show me any strength in this little zone right here. So, I mean, my best play is going to be still clear up here that 2 hour supply. Of course, at this point, price is quite a ways away. Now, it could very well. We've seen plenty of price action in a rate drop or a rate increase to know that we could definitely get, some crazy price action up to that area. Bank's going to be manipulating, moving price around like crazy. So if somehow they manipulate it clear up there, heck yeah, I'll take a short. But I don't feel comfortable taking a short anywhere in this area. Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean that in itself would be about 60 pips. So I mean it's 60 pips away. It's sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot when it comes to a rate release, right?
Right. Oh, you know what? And speaking of news too, I mentioned it on the news on the news segment here about the 1 year, 5 year loan prime rates for China, and it looks like they came in as expected. So literally nothing anyway. So
yeah,
nothing crazy there.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say on FX Street for this rate decision coming up. RBNZ expected to trim interest rate. With Hawkesby speech in focus, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is set to lower the key interest rate to 3% on Wednesday. Focus is going to be on the RBNZ OCR projection, which I don't know what that acronym is, and Governor Hawkesby's comments. The New Zealand dollar braces for intense volatility on the RBNZ policy announcements. So they're throwing in some big words. Intense volatility. Okay. So they're going to lower. Decision is announced here shortly. New Zealand dollar remains exposed to big moves in the immediate reaction to the central bank policy. What to expect? Set to resume its easing cycle this week after having paused a series of 6 consecutive interest rate cuts in the July meeting. Okay, committee expects. Okay, so that's all the same. Back, blah 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 blah. Consumer price index rose 0.5% in the second quarter and was up an annual 2.7%. So a tad slower than the forecast. Yeah, that's basically the gist of what I'm seeing on this New Zealand release that they had. News release just ahead of the rate decision, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing major.
All right.
But yeah, we'll definitely see what it does on a 1 minute time frame. That's always my favorite thing. Just to get a bag of popcorn, sit back and watch the show, right?
Undoubtedly, for sure. I'm excited too, because honestly, I've never really paid attention to an FX pair during a news release like this. This will be my first time. Not even kidding. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just looking at the recent trend, obviously it's been a little bit of a downtrend sideways, but it's went back to down again if you're looking at it on a 1 hour. So, yeah, lows are high, lower, low. So, I mean, just looking at the immediate area. This is more of a like kind of a choppy area right here. So it's an area I would tend to avoid, the retail chop. I would be more interested in this supply just ahead, which is again on a 2-hour. Now again, keep in mind also, forget the interest rate decision for just a minute. The New Zealand dollar is actually a neutral score of a 2. So if anything, it's leading bullish. Well, obviously that interest rate decision is going to change that. So let me see real quick. New Zealand dollar interest. Okay, so interest rate is showing a 0. So as soon as that's released, that'll be a -2. So that'll move it from, it'll move it from a +2 down to neutral, 0. So still going to remain neutral, but obviously in the short term, the next day or so, we should be seeing quite a bit of volatility. New Zealand dollar really is one of the slower moving currency pairs as well. It's not like a dollar yen. I mean, it moves 77 pips a day. So like, just to put it into context, the dollar yen tends to trade around 120, 107. Hold on a second. I need to go to the daily time frame. So the dollar yen moves 120 pips a day. So that's the average true range. The New Zealand dollar is actually 46 pips. So that's what I meant to say. So yeah, it's one of the slower moving pairs, just like the euro pound, just like New Zealand Swiss, I think it was. So it'll move a lot relative to its ATR, but it won't be. It's not like it's going to make it up to this 60 pips necessarily. I mean, it very well could. Let me measure that out one more time. From there to that zone is right at 60 pips. So it's possible, but I would expect as soon as that decision comes out, they drop it. I would definitely expect it to be dropping, if anything. Okay, it'll be dropping right into this demand zone. So obviously, we'll see if it's going to have the strength to push through it. Which I would definitely never in a million years want to buy this market if it hits that zone, assuming everything were bullish, right? Assuming it had a bullish score of a 8 or a 9 or a 10. I probably still would avoid buying right there, just because we all know how crazy. It's just as bad, if not worse, than NFP, right? Whenever these decisions come out, rate decisions come out. So let me see. I guess I could, it's like a fantasy football. I guess I could put on my little guess, right? All right. So we got 46 pips a day. I'm going to guess we'll get a little bounce. I may be way off, but this is just for fun. Maybe a poke through. I mean, we'll start getting a little bit of a master pattern in action. Something like that. And then from there, from there down. So let's do this. This is just for fun. I could be way off, but
yeah.
I see. Actually, let's do this. Let's make that yellow doesn't stand out a little bit. Yeah, something crazy like that. I mean, this is a 2-hour time frame. I'm sorry. I was on the wrong time frame. I want to redo that from a 15-minute time frame, just for fun.
Yeah.
All right, 15 minutes. Yeah, here we go. 15 minutes. This is more like it. Let's see. Definitely see it spiking down. Definitely see a little bit of a bounce up. Here, let's do this. Bounce up. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe come up, make a new high. Blah, 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 blah. And then start going downward like that. That would be my guess. So, yeah, drop like 20 pips, 20, 30 pips. Be about my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, like I said, even after that decision, assuming it is the 25 points, it's still going to be a neutral score. So I'll just wait, let the volume kind of shake itself out, get back to relatively normal, right? For as far as the candles right beforehand. And then figure out if I can latch onto a trend from that point, just on like a shorter term technical only setup, since it is such a neutral rating. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see.
I think. Oh, okay, cool. And by the way, real quick mention on
Mhm.
me on a different note here, real quickly, and we'll get back. Our production crew is saying we are live on X now. So if you prefer to
Yeah.
watch on X as well at any point, we are live on X. So you can also check us out there. YouTube and X, pretty cool, pretty sweet. Love that new
Yeah, we had
addition
it on
this
our.
week.
I do too. I think it doubled our viewers because, yeah, we had it for the first time this morning on Forex Fire, and pretty much had us. If I'm looking at it right, looked like we had a pretty similar amount of views as what we had on YouTube.
Awesome.
Assuming
That's
I looked at
awesome.
it correctly, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, because when you're on the screen, like right by the pause button, I noticed, yeah, to the right it showed the views. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's great. No, that's a good way to expand. I mean, I shared it first thing. Well, now I can share this one, but yeah, we must start paying attention to that
I need to
because
make
I
an
got a
X
lot.
account.
Oh, you
Nope,
don't have
nope.
one? Yeah.
No,
Well,
but it's only because I deleted like all my social media like so long ago. Like it was like 6 or 7 years ago, except for YouTube. So I'm slowly getting back into it a little bit here and there. I mean, I'll get an X account though for sure.
yeah. I mean, I never had. I mean, I've always had a Twitter account, but I never ever used it for socializing. The only thing I do with Twitter or X, the only thing I do is just follow specific traders and presidents and prime ministers, central banks. All the things that affect the currencies I trade. That's the only people I follow because it's super nice to just be able to pop on there at any time and type in whatever EUR USD or you know Italian prime minister or somebody if there's some news going on and just see it straight from the horse's mouth. That's what I like about
Yeah,
it. Now I know Trump's a little different because he's got Truth Social, so I obviously have a Truth Social account for that. But most everybody else, I just want to get the information straight from their mouth, not from a news source,
hmm
right, or a third party company. And what better way to do it than that? I might turn off my
yeah.
master pattern indicator during this. But yeah, so it's real nice. I mean, heck, I think I might have to get an account, like an actual premium account, because I do get sick and tired of seeing all the ads pop up on it. I mean, and they're
That
horrible about
is,
it too. Like for
yeah,
every 2 or 3 regular posts, you'll see an ad. It's just like more ridiculous than a lot of other types of services, social and like videos on
jeez, man.
YouTube. That's another thing. I need to get a premium subscription again just to
Yeah,
get rid of all the
yeah.
nonsense I didn't
YouTube
ask for.
YouTube Premium is definitely worth it. I'm right there with you. I mean, it sucks to have to, pay to not see the stuff, but it is nice. It
Yeah.
is very nice. I did it as of
Ah,
recently, so
did you? Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
had a free. I was messing around with some of my music stuff, and it actually offered me a free month just to try it
nice.
for a month. So I actually got that free month and used it to like download some videos and things, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty nice. I just want to take one quick look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the New Zealand index real quick before we go flip back on over. Okay.
Top Dog is in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you, friend. Thanks for stopping in here, hanging with us for a little bit. Had one trade on the Dow earlier, up just about $100 on a mini Dow trade there. Um, Super spready though. Not recommended. Not recommended. Don't recommend it to anybody. But we made it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. That was interesting to watch. To
I
see
was
the
I
spread
was looking
there.
at the Nikkei. I was looking at the Nikkei just now. This is the Nikkei now. I was contemplating getting short the Nikkei, but I need to look up the specs on this contract a little bit more real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, specs.
All right, we are now
Just need to.
about 45 seconds from this report coming out.
Oh, let's share your screen then. Oh, are we on your screen? Yeah, we're on it.
It's
Okay,
on.
cool.
Yeah, it's on. I'm just going to go off to the other screen and double check. Yeah, 30 seconds. So again, unless anything changes, we're projected to drop 25 basis points here in about 20 seconds, which means we should see a nice spike down. Now it may whipsaw and come back, obviously, but it's definitely going to get hot and bothered here for a moment.
Yeah.
Now, New Zealand dollar, as always, it is one of the slowest moving pairs, so it won't move as much relative to like the dollar Swiss or the euro Japanese yen or the pound Japanese yen, some of the higher liquid currencies, but currency pairs. But there you go.
Yeah.
There's your drop. Look at that.
Dang. All right.
So yeah, they did get the number at 3% right on the dot. So look at that. It's going to come down to that demand zone, and it will not surprise me if it taps in. That's actually right on it. So, but yeah, it could very well chew through it, or it could get a bounce. It wouldn't surprise me either way. But it's flying now. So we're already down 28 pips. So again, this is just a 1 minute chart for everybody watching. But it's the flying.
Yeah.
You see the volume spread analysis candle at the bottom. It's just giant relative to these other candles down here. We've already reached the bottom of that demand zone, so it's strong. Way more volume in this bar than is unfilled orders from that demand zone I showed on that higher time frame so far. Now it very well could still bounce up like it's trying to do now. And if it bounced up, it would be because it's hitting the bottom of the the demand zone, which is the same as the support, right? Be the support. So there you go. That's what happens when you get a rate decision. Very similar to NFP, but this ain't near as. I don't think this was as strong. Well, I mean, obviously it's just been a minute and a half. But
how big is that demand zone you have?
Well, I'm going to go up to my hour time frame just for a moment. All right, let me get my goodies out of the way. Actually, I think that was a 30-minute. Let me just go back. So yeah, 30-minute demand. Now it was a really, really strong volume, exit candle. So I definitely like that. Part of me wants to buy the market, to be honest, because it is slightly on the bullish, but I'm not going to touch it until this all shakes out. But yeah, it's about 10 pip wide demand zone. Not really that.
Okay.
Not really that. Now it's big enough because again, this ATR is only 40 something pips anyway. So yeah, it looks like 8 pips. By the time you throw in a stop loss, you might make that 3 or 4 pips. So, potentially 12 pips, but okay. So the volume is already slowing down. Second candle was half the previous one, much smaller candle, but yeah, I can now see it retracing, coming all the way back up. This is where if I had a screw off account, like Coach Michael, he's got a separate account. He calls it his play account. So he'll go in there and test things and have riskier trades, stuff that he's not going to take on his regular account, right? So if I had an account like that, I'd probably be buying this market for just a little bit, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to teach bad habits to everybody in the chat, number one, and I don't want to reinforce bad habits in my own trading.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you, is there any part of you that wants to buy that right now? Is there any bit of you that wants to scalp that?
For sure. No, for sure.
Funny.
For sure. I mean, yeah. Well, here in a few minutes, my my algorithm will be updated, so I'll see what the official number is. But yeah, I'm assuming because they dropped those rates, New Zealand dollar should just go from a 2, which it currently is, down to a 0. I'm assuming, so it's going to make it even more neutral. Let me just pull up that number. Actually, New Zealand dollar New Zealand dollar, New Zealand. Okay. Yeah. So the surprise meter currently at 63%. So New Zealand dollar was one of the higher economic surprise meter scores. So let's do this. I'm going to actually pull up New Zealand's. Yeah, we're getting another push down, as you can see there. All right. So there's the New Zealand dollar. Here. I got too many things on my chart here. All right. Control S. Way too many things.
The indices are cracking down, man. It's we just got down to my original price target in the Dow. I was too anxious to hold on to that for so long because of the spreadiness, and now the volume has really started coming in the last 15 minutes, 10 minutes to 15 minutes or so, and now it's really heading south here. Dow down to 44,910.
But yeah, real quick on this. As far as the New Zealand dollar itself, I mean, last week we did have a bearish PPI number, which obviously was, good for the markets and good for our pocketbooks for future buying of items, but it was a negative for the currency. So even with that bearish rating, it's still at a 62%. So that's still a good number for the New Zealand dollar. You see all the surprises over here. So that means that New Zealand overall is performing better than what economists are predicting. So that's a good thing. That's a robust economic growth, factor I like to look at. Let me see here. Interest. I guess the interest rate's not going to be on there, but so yeah. I mean, I'd like to buy the market, but this is why I didn't buy it, because it just chops right through it. It retraced a little bit, makes you think, we're going to get a nice bounce here. Nice demand zone / maybe you look at it just as a support, right? Support line. But no, they turn around and say, no, we're going to push it right back through. This is the banks doing this. This isn't retail trading. This is the banks. You know full well, but just for people at home on the chat, they push the market down. They collect some orders. They make people think that price is going to go up. They allow price to come up naturally. Right. And then when it gets up here, you start to get some breakout traders. So then they turn around on this next candle, this next expanded range candle, and drop it even further. Japan does a lot of that with their intervention. They do a lot of intervention of their currencies. This is just a very similar thing, but they're just doing it for the sake of collecting liquidity to ultimately take price to where they want it. So looking at this higher time frame, if we go all the way out to the daily, well, where the heck are we at? I mean, we're technically rounding the corner, pushing price down, right? So you had the banks push up. They're going through distribution up in this area, and then it looks to me like they ultimately want to push price down. So, I mean, at this rate, I don't know. I'm just going to wait and see how my algorithm shakes out. I definitely don't want to be buying in anything in this area now that it dropped through that smaller time frame zone that I had drawn up. So let me pull that back out. Yeah, that zone. Get my popcorn out of the way. But yeah, I mean, that was where that zone was down here. So, I mean, if you had a gun to my head, I had to hit the sell or the buy button. I'd definitely be hitting the sell button, but I need for price to kind of slow down. I need to find a basing action and try to latch on. Maybe something like this zone here on a 4-hour. I mean, there's a nice doji candle hiding right there between those red candles. So potentially look for price to shake itself out, slow down, and maybe come up and tap into that. That'd probably be an opportunity. I mean, it looks a lot better on a 4-hour than it does any of the lower time frames, but obviously the higher time frame trumps the lower time frame, as always. So that would probably be the most immediate move I see. Probably the only real move I see. I mean, you could probably look at this 30-minute candle, but I would much rather trust the 4-hour than I would this 30-minute. Or I could even just lump that in together. Heck, that still only makes it about 10 pips wide. If I were to throw that zone on top of a zone, just as an example, the proximal line to the distal line of the zone above, I mean, that's That's 14 pips. So that's about 40% of its average true range. So, for the sake of
I
not missing
did.
out on the trade, I would probably do that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was going to say real quick, I did. I might get stopped out here, but I did get short one NQ. I have a $105 stop loss at the moment. It looks like it's going to try and break out here to the upside, actually. I got short off of the 50 period EMA on the 1 minute, holding like it has held, and we've been holding the downtrend so well. So I figured I'd try and get short close to the top end of this range here. We can, if maybe we can just share my screen for a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go to your chart
Yeah.
back in, because that's pretty much the show right there for New Zealand.
Yeah, let's see if we can't get the push down here. That got pretty terrible execution. I was trying to get it at 23,382, and it wicked me in at 23,380 and a half, or 387.5, or no, 380 and a half. So I got in like 8 ticks below, or like 6 ticks or so below where I should have, or where I was expecting to, honestly. But looks pretty good here. Come on, let's see the. I'm not looking for anything crazy. It's a quick 1-to-1 scalp. Risking 105 to make 105. I'm just trying to get down into this area where we saw more volume. 23,375. That's where more volume traded. Not looking to break lows or anything, but the Nasdaq is really giving a little bit of trouble here. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. Yeah. Come on. Maybe see some buyers fail and some sellers come in, or no? Don't want to play nice with me? Don't want to play nice? No, that definitely doesn't want to play nice. This sucker doesn't want to play nice at all. All right. We actually might see the reversal here. We might have just seen a double bottom on the NQ. And might have, yeah, could have seen it. Is it going to happen? Am I going to get wicked out? What's going to happen here? One tick away. One tick away from the stop. There we go. Okay. Down 10 on the day. Not the worst. Not the worst. I mean, that's okay. Let's see if we can't get back into a trade here. Maybe we have to get long.
Was that your H?
That was my friend. That was my H.
That was your H.
It was my H, and and again, even though that downtrend was so harsh, generally speaking, this whole entire overnight, what got it to reverse? The dang H, dude. That dang H is my kryptonite.
I hate to say it. So that presented that double bottom. So that essentially creates Coach Michael's W pattern. So the break of that middle part, I may take the opposite side of that, because it's bouncing in a demand zone.
Take it along?
A buy on the NAS, the NAS 100.
Yeah, let me take a look that's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for a possible reversal here for sure. Yeah. Though I also might have. I'll laugh hysterically if I just got stopped out and then it continues to the downside. I'll laugh pretty hard, honestly, if that happens. I think I'm going to get short the ES. You know what?
Yeah, I'll draw this up and show. I'll draw this up and show everybody here in a minute, couple minutes after I get it written up here, because it's definitely in a demand zone. I definitely like it. Had some pretty good volume. Yeah. Let's see here. I need to go down to a 1 minute. Actually, let's just draw up my. Okay, so take profit is going to be here. Did you want? Was you going to show that now, or did you want me to?
No, I'm just no. Yeah, you can hop on. I'm deciding whether I want to get into a long on the Nasdaq here or not. So I'm
Oh,
doing a
okay.
little bit of thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, back in. You can go ahead and pop on over to my chart again, if you would. I think I'm going to set this up as a buy stop. Let's see here. Let me think here.
I just got short again.
Oh, there you go. Try again, right?
I can't help but to think that this wants to go lower, and then it just stopped me out.
Yeah.
I am just gonna, you know what? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like I'm okay with it. This is gonna be quite a learning experience here. I think, whatever these next few minutes are, but I'm ready for it. The Nasdaq is intriguing me. Is massively intriguing me because I'm looking at the Dow and the ES as well, and they don't look strong. Like they just don't look strong, and I'm just wondering if the Nasdaq's kind of putting up a false front at the moment, and ticks back down here. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We will see. The volume, I will say, the book is super thin. It's dried out massively, and as I'm saying that, we're starting to rally up here a little bit. Yeah, look at that, dude. Look at that. Look at that. The book is just drying up. The volume is like non-existent right now. I wonder what's causing that. Wow.
23, 195. All right, so 23, 195. Let's do. Ooh, I gotta put mine in quick. Yeah, I'm 23, 630. 23, 637.
I don't blame you for wanting to get long here. To be quite honest, this is as good of a long. I feel like as it. I think it might be a better long than a short, but with this super dry order book, it's honest. It feels more like a coin flip at this point.
Well, yeah, and I'm definitely going against the fundamental narrative too, but I'll mention it here in just a second. I'm just putting it in as a buy stop. I'm subject to edit and change this or just delete it altogether, but I just wanted to throw it in so it's at least up there.
Yeah.
And then I'll mention. So yeah, just
This,
just looking at the fundamentals on this thing. So Nasdaq. So here's all the things that missed expectations and are bearish for the Nasdaq of late. So you got both PMIs, manufacturing and the services sector, retail sales, PPI, all the inflation data, PPI, PCE, also the employment change, and the interest rate. So unemployment rate's neutral. CPI is given a +2, GDP is a +2, trend is a +2, seasonality is a +2, and the COT report is a +2. So they did actually buy a little Nasdaq. Retail positioning is also net long. So we don't get to use the contrarian signal. I don't worry about that too much because I do have the big banks in my favor. So I like the buy only because the banks did, and it's a good seasonality score. And obviously we got the trend so the technicals, but the GDP report did benefit as well as the CPI. So it's kind of a mixed bag. That's exactly why it's neutral, right? So you could make a bullish reason or you could make a bearish reason if you just wanted to stick strictly to the economic data. But I also like to, what do the big banks know that maybe I don't know or that the economists don't know, right? So that's this is kind of, like you said, literally a coin flip. You just got to pick a side. But I think for me, ultimately, I'm making the decision to possibly buy it just because it dropped into a demand zone, which like I say a
Mhm.
lot. I mean, if I had one item in trading, one indicator, one oscillator, one thing that I could keep and I couldn't have anything else, I would live and die by supply and demand zones. So all things
Yeah.
being equal, it's sitting in a 1 hour demand, and we're getting that W bottom or that double bottom. So on a 1 minute time frame, I may take the breakout. And the beautiful thing about that is it's still within the demand zone. So it's not like I'm buying a breakout anywhere up high.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. For a second there, I really thought that the Nasdaq was going to complete the fake out to the upside and crumble,
Mm-hmm.
and it did not. And it did not. It actually just held up. It with all of these 1 minute candles closing above its 21 period EMA, it's starting to feel like the Nasdaq's building like along here, and at least in this short term overnight session. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to hold in it for the sake of just just holding, trying to hold to the thesis,
Mm-hmm.
see if we don't just retest the lows. But we might have here at 10:20 p.m. Eastern time kind of set the lows on at least the overnight for this session that we're our 2 hour session here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
could see the reversal, so this would
Yeah,
be
and
interesting.
the just for context, the proximal line of that 1 hour zone for me, since I'm on the CFD, is up at the 23,330 level, which for you the equivalence would be probably like your 23,396 level
Hmm.
ish, or 20. You might as well just say 23,4 level, 23,400. That'd probably be about the equivalence as far as the future asset there, or ticker.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I just got stopped out myself there. A good amount of buy volume just kind of came in on the Nasdaq there to get through my stop, and yeah,
no,
I might look to change direction here. Might look to change and get long like the ES or something instead of the Nasdaq. I think I want to do that. I think I want to get long
yeah,
the ES.
there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Well, back end real quick. Yeah, I'll just touch on my setup real quick if you don't mind switching over, just for a quick
yeah.
minute, and then we'll take a look at my potential setup here on the Nazi. Yeah, basically picking the sides, picking the side of demand. Back in, if we could get my screen. There we go. Oh, sorry, F11 that. But yeah, so just looking at this Nazi from a higher time frame, I mean, I saw we were in this zone for pretty much the whole time we've been on stream, but I wasn't too interested about it initially, just because again it is so neutral. But I mean, you kind of when in doubt, zoom out. So when I went in doubt and zoomed out, just like all these other indices, obviously longer term, everything's way up. So I thought, okay, well, what does it look like on the fib? So price is bouncing right at that 50% on the fib levels. So that's just one item. That's not the end all be all, but that's just one item of confluence. And then obviously the
Mm.
1 hour, I've got demand, which again, this is what I live and die by. If I had to give everything else up, VWAP, trend lines, hell, even volume, to be honest, RSI, ATR. If I had to give all that up, that's fine. Just give me a naked chart with some supply and demand zones. That's all I need. That's how a lot of people. You know what though? A lot of the instructors that trade or that taught us this method. I mean, most of them have naked charts. They don't have any other oscillators. The only other thing one or two of them have is RSI. Just look for those
Yeah.
divergences, right? Because but yeah, I mean, I think I used to be bad. I used to have all kinds of things: the commodity channel index. I'd have the MACD, all kinds of oscillators and indicators that practically did the same thing, right? It's just however whatever's easiest on your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the moving averages. I had so much crap on my chart, and finally one day I just got sick of it. I got overwhelmed. I'm like, what do I do? So I started reading naked charts and studying up on naked charting, and I started getting a better understanding of the fact that when you really, this is good for everybody, but when you really start learning these patterns, you can almost guess where that underlying oscillator indicator, what it's going to look like, right? And a lot of them you can figure it out.
Mm.
So I started just kind of testing a little bit, like turn off the indicator just long enough to guess where it may move or where it may be at. Yeah, I started to realize that, like, at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a reflection of price, lagging indicator.
Yeah.
So I just got rid of all that crap, and now I just leave the RSI up. That's basically it. But yeah, volume or obviously BSA. So
Coach Tony likes looking at RSI a lot as well. And I will say quickly, I am extremely stubborn right now on my thoughts here, and I am short 3 ES minis at the moment instead of the NASDAQ. I'm short 3 ES minis, looking for a retest of the lows. Relatively tight stop here. I saw buyers get trapped at the top of the range in the NQ and a quick sell-off starting to occur. So that told me to get short because buyers essentially ran out and were immediately met with sellers and just simply like larger selling pressure. But the thing is it may be in like a normal regular trading hour session, that might, bode well for me. But I'm just not in the overnight book. This might not be the case. Honestly, it could just have been a kind of like a false front that I just got short into again, to maybe be stubbornly kicked out a third time here. It looks like that might be the case if we don't find some sort of resistance in the 23,387 area on the NASDAQ, or roughly the 64,20 area here in the ES. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm currently short the 3 minis on the ES. My stop is at 64.20 and a half. So I'm like a point away at the moment from that being stopped. Telco, Paul, you're down $10. You're ruined. Well, now I'm down 157. I'm down 157. And if I get stopped out on this, I'll be down roughly 400. So a lot different of a situation, but that is just me not wanting to get out of this short, man. Like I really just felt like we needed to continue short here.
Well,
and it doesn't look like that's the case. The market doesn't need to do what I think it needs to do.
right.
It can do whatever it wants. So,
well, Paul, I'm up $3.38 on the day, so I'll take us and get us a best choice cola from Walmart. The cheap ones. And we'll at least have some bubbly action there.
a couple of big gulps and a dream. A couple of Cokes and a dream. That's great. Love it.
I could have went out and delivered one DoorDash order and been up higher than that.
For real, man. I mean, shoot. I might need to start DoorDash and sheesh. My goodness.
I'll tell you, it kept me afloat there for a while between jobs. So just updating on this New Zealand dollar, you guys remember we had this second candle, and it just keeps on going down. So that's the power of what a 25 basis point cut will do on the New Zealand dollar. So, I mean, currently we're down.
That's a big move. Big move.
Yeah, especially for such a slow moving currency. Yeah, we're already
Yeah.
down 57 pips, which is not a lot when you're talking, like I said, dollar Japanese yen or pound Jap or anything like that. But New
Mhm.
Zealand dollar, oh yeah, that's a. Oh, now here's the other thing I wanted to show, Paul. So now that's New Zealand dollar. So obviously, what's related to New Zealand? Australia. So let's go look at the Australia dollar right here. Okay, so you can see it had a pretty big drop as well. Let's look at pound New Zealand. Okay, that's obviously going to be up because New Zealand is down. So pound New Zealand, euro New Zealand, New Zealand Jap, which will be down. Pound Aussie, which nothing to do with New Zealand, but it's going to be up because the Aussie is obviously related to New Zealand. So the Aussie is down, which means the pound is up as a result. So it's always cool to see relationship. Euro Aussie is going to be up, obviously. And obviously, Aussie CAD's down, Aussie Swiss is down, Aussie New Zealand is up, obviously. So Aussie is still stronger than the New Zealand, but Aussie is down when you look at the Aussie compared to everything else. So it's always an interesting dynamic, just to get an understanding of what all these related currency pairs do. Aussie New Zealand actually pushed through this daily supply, so it was strong enough to push through that. So just to show the strength of that move. Yeah, and then the same thing with the index. I mean, I should say the currency futures. So looking at New Zealand's currency futures, same thing, same picture. And then the Aussie is going to be down as well, Aussie futures. So it's just always interesting to compare and contrast. China is going to be down because China and Australia and New Zealand, they all have their trade, right? Their own separate trade deals. So yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, going back to my trade idea on the Nazi, where am I at here? Yeah, so let me just go back over here.
I switched my bias, by the way. I am now long. I am long the ES. 3 minis on the ES at the moment. We're looking for a relatively large move here. We're looking for a move, at least for this overnight session. I mean, my goodness, things were moving down, but they were moving down relatively slowly. So I'm looking for a move up to 64.24 here. We're at 64.20.50. Let's see if the NASDAQ can't power us up, get us through its current 21 period EMA on the 5 minute here, and then and drive us to the promised land. So,
promised land. I did want to address. I did see where, let's see here, rise and grind, bullish on dollar Japanese yen for a couple pips. Oh, so you're just like a tiny scalp, it sounds like. Okay. Yeah, I just saw that a couple pips. Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say when it comes to the dollar Japanese yen, it's actually quite bearish. If you're looking at the fundies, let's take a look at all of it, though. So here's what I'm going to do. My voice seems to leave about this time of day lately. I'm going to pull up my current top setups on the dollar Japanese yen and just take a look at it real quick. So dollar Japanese yen is the most bearish asset I have, minus 11. So just keep that in mind. All these red items are in the negative for the dollar, which means positive for the Japanese yen. So you've really only got one thing convincing you to go long, which is the COT report. And as I always say, it's one of my favorite reports, but it's not the end all be all. So this is an easy reason to ignore the COT report when I see all this red for the inflation data, the employment numbers, interest. trend, everything, right? But yeah, just looking at the dollar yen, I mean, it's just been a kind of a mess. Chop, okay, we got a chop there. We got chop here. It's kind of a little bit of a, what do you call it, triangle or pennant or flag or whatever you call it, ish type pattern. I just need price to get out of this this trend line, something like this. This line here going up. Now it's kind of on the other side of it, on the downside, but there's just nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna delete all that. Yeah, if you had, again, this is always where I say if I had to if you put a gun to my head and I had to hit the buy or sell button, I'd be hitting the sell button. But I prefer not to hit it unless I get a little bit of a premium on it, which means selling it higher in this area. But there's no real action in this area on the higher time frame. Now you go down the smaller time frame, you got nothing but choppy wiki junk. 30-minute, nothing really there. I mean, the closest thing I found, Paul, on the most bearish asset was right here on a 15-minute supply. So that's really my only potential. Again, if you held a gun to my head, I had to hit buy or sell, I'd be hitting sell right there.
Yeah,
because that zone was strong enough to make a new low under this little bit of a recent low. So I've already got me an alert set on there, but yeah, just give me a simple move up, come down, and just take a profit right at this bottom. I would not try taking this any further down in this area, especially down to this area because there's a demand zone down there waiting. So it's something like that. That's pretty much what I'm waiting for on the dollar yen.
Well,
did you get into that trade you said?
Yeah, I'm in it, and geez Louise, is it an interesting one? We can switch to my screen. I'll show you what just happened in the last 3 minutes. Very wiki stuff happening. So I got long relatively at the 64.20ish area, and about 3 minutes after that, the NASDAQ just broke down and it caused the ES to wick down about 2 points, about two ticks. No, 1 tick above my stop loss. So we skated by this, the stop hunt, and we are now back up to a slightly above break even at the moment. This is feeling good. This is feeling like a genuine turnaround is on its way. I just need 4 points here. I'm looking for 4 points. Nothing crazy. I mean, the ES, I know you can do it. NASDAQ, the younger brother that has a lot more energy and vitality, needs to just help out his older brother ES here, who's maybe got a little bit of a bad back or something. And just boost them up, boost them up to 64.24. So, come on. And Delco was mentioning. By the way, do you guys think we'll rally into Jackson Hole? Plus monthly turnover is finished. I noticed some of the stocks held up while others sold. Yeah. So, what I will say is, we did in the regular trading hours session. We talked about how the Home Depot earnings and a couple of I think there was a couple of industrials and less sexy stocks that reported earnings, and they weren't the best, but they were still decent. And they Home Depot definitely rallied. It was almost 4% or something today. But you saw a lot of non-sexy names rallying while you had a lot of the big names like NVIDIA, Microsoft down on the day. So whether or not we're going to rally into Jackson Hole, it's a tough question, man. I wish I had a crystal ball. I really couldn't tell you. These last few days have been, interesting to say the least to trade. But just because we had a relatively large down day today doesn't mean I think we're going down further. But does show that we can have a nice down trend day to the downside, even during such bullish times here. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of neutral, to be quite honest. I'm not
Yeah.
very. I don't have really much of an opinion whether we're going to go higher or lower. I did like trim a little bit of tech stuff out of my retirement portfolio the other day, a couple days ago, just for the sake of. I mean, this isn't advice or anything to anybody. It's just something that I did in my personal accounts. Um, but just for the sake of having some cash on hand in case I want to get into anything else that I like. But that's not saying I still have a bunch of tech stuff. So I still, have shares, a bunch of shares of different tech companies, big boys. So I definitely don't want it to go down. I'd prefer it to keep going up.
Yeah, no, Delco. I mean, I pretty much that's exactly almost verbatim what I was thinking. It's just more sideways, kind of like rise and grind, kind of like the dollar Japanese yen. It's just too choppy, too sideways. There's no real trend. It's just kind of lollygagging. So when you look at it on a higher time frame, what is it doing? It's pretty much making a contraction box. A higher time frame
Mhm.
contraction box. What happens from contraction boxes? Well, price eventually leaves one direction, whether it's up or down. A lot of times that's where the manipulation starts to happen. Institutions step in and push it around, manipulate, get the liquidity to ultimately find the right trend. But when you're looking at all these assets, all the indices again on an economic data and a sentiment perspective, I mean they're just so neutral. They're about as neutral as it gets. Like I said, Nasdaq's a -1, Dow is a +1, so that's neutral. That's unactionable for me. It's only actionable for me when I get a 5 or a higher or a -5 or a lower if I'm shorting something. So when it's that neutral, it's literally like we said earlier, like Paul said earlier, it's kind of a coin flip. So that's why for me, I mean, I would never advise anybody to jump on this NASI trade that I've got my buy stop order set. But at the end of the day, if there were no fundamentals and it was just all pure supply and demand, I'm going off the supply and demand. I'm going off demand. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't. Technically, yeah, I feel comfortable telling anybody. Technically, yeah, it's a good place to buy. But I I'm just so ingrained in the fundamentals. That's my only personal hesitation. But if you're just a technical only trader, heck yeah, not a bad place to buy. And you had volume right there. Okay,
Yeah.
price went up, coming back nicely. Paul's the one that mentioned this earlier. I wasn't even paying attention until he mentioned it. But yeah, you're getting that little W pattern, the double bottom, down, up, down, double bottom. So what happens when we get this double bottom? Well, you typically just buy at the break of the middle of that W, and it's pretty
Mhm.
much right there now. But I'm just going to wait for it to actually leave the demand zone itself, just for a little bit more wiggle room, just in case it just decides, you know, where's my thing? Just in case it decides to come up here a little higher than here, not quite get there, but then turn around and go the other way, right? I mean, it's not really a whole lot of difference, but I'm just basically giving it that little bit extra wiggle room.
Mhm.
Um, reasons to reasons to potentially delete this buy stop. Well, what's the volume doing since it's jumped in the zone? Well, not really a whole lot of nothing. I mean, still fairly elevated, relative to the recent candles. Obviously, relative to the candles after the market closed, but well, even at that, it just does it look like it's kind of going down? Does it look like we're losing volume? Well, yeah, kind of. Kind of looks like we're going down. So would that be a reason to just get out altogether? Possibly. I'm considering it. Right? It's a diverging. So how much faith and confidence do I have in this daily zone, this daily demand zone? Well,
We got to share
perfect.
your
I
screen,
mean,
Coach Tiger. We'll
oh,
share your
oh, oh,
screen real
oh.
quick.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
forgot we weren't
yeah.
even on it.
No, that's okay. I was showing the NQ when you were talking about the NQ, so we'll share your screen here real quick. And
Oh, I F11 the wrong screen. There we go. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying on the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, when it comes to this trade setup, yeah, again, it's neutral as far as the fundamentals. It is, but we do have this decline into the demand zone, and we've got this little W forming. That's what I was pointing out. So obviously, like Paul pointed out, Paul's the one who pointed this out. I wasn't even paying attention, but yeah, we had this little double bottom on a 1 minute time frame. So typically, what happens when you're looking for a reversal type pattern, you just want to take the long past the middle of that W. So, really just anywhere up here. Sorry, I got my magnet on. Really anywhere up here. Just look to take that buy. But I'm going to be even more cautious and just wait for the break of the demand zone itself, which is the top of this green box. That's, because what I was trying to show earlier, I mean, who knows? Maybe we could go a little higher. Well, if you go by this standard, I should be in the trade already. But it could come up here and very well go the opposite. Never know. Mm-hmm. But I'm just going to wait. This is what's called a confirmation entry when you're looking at supply and demand zones themselves. You essentially wait for price to break into the zone, and then on its way out of the zone, that's where you actually place your buy stop order. Or my market order, but buy stop's better. Gets you a better fill, especially if you're trading huge amounts. Banks will be doing that, I would assume. Do you guys use buy stop and sell stop orders, limit orders? Or did you use actual market orders?
Don't. No, we market ordering on the futures is usually the way that we trade because of just the liquidity there. It's a lot less like risky to be than like you would in your situation with like just market ordering in necessarily. Mm-hmm. But like you can get into trouble when you're entering a position with like stop orders. That's kind of, there can be like some relatively large slippage there at times entering that way. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. I just like to mark it in, and I have like an OCO bracket order that immediately goes in there, and then I adjust it as necessary. But based on whatever the trade is. But yeah, market orders for the futures guys for the most part. There are people that will put buy limits in or sell limits in if they want to get short or long at a certain area and just wait for it to get to that point. But that's not like for the traders in the morning session. We don't typically do that. We're just see the order, looking at the order flow, see it, market order in, and then we have our take profit and stop loss orders, put in place. So,
yeah.
Well, I took some heat on this ES trade. I will say real quick. I'll just update my trade really quick. I took a lot of heat over the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's again back up to break even as the NASDAQ looks like it's starting to break out a little bit. The Dow is having some trouble though. So if we can see the Dow follow suit with the NASDAQ, maybe the ES will really just start to go home to where it needs to go at 64.24. So that's the update. That's my quick update.
Right on. Yeah, I'm just marking out my higher time frame supply zone because if I'm in a trade, I'm going to definitely be out by that upper limit there. In fact, I think I need to add some more. I need to go and edit this. I forgot to change my risk. Get a little more risk. But yeah, it looks like I'm close. I mean, at this point, we're real close to just buy stopping in. So it'll be no going back at that point. I'm going to let her ride. Let me look at the calendar upcoming. So we got Wednesday FOMC minutes at 2 Eastern tomorrow for the U.S. FOMC minutes. We got Philly. Nothing new. Unemployment, your normal Thursday unemployment numbers and the flash PMI numbers in the morning. Friday's obviously the big day with Fed Chair Powell speaking, and the Jackson Hole Symposium. So sometimes that Jackson Hole Symposium creates a lot of volatility. There's sometimes it hasn't. It's not really. There's no guarantees on that.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing some reading on it, and yeah, that's kind of the basics I'm getting. Sometimes it creates a lot of volatility, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see. But New Zealand dollar still dropping like crazy. So at this point, in 49 minutes, it's dropped 63 pips. So that's 1.5 times the average 24-hour pip range. So all that just in 45 minutes. Just for context. But yeah, just looking at a higher time frame. 4 hour. Yeah. See, there's not anything real strong as far as a demand zone right in this area. Nowhere. Now you do have some basing, but you don't have any strong conviction after it leaves those ranges. So you got that expanded range candle. I guess you could call it that. I wouldn't even call it that. But then you got the candle right after basing and hesitating. So there's a lot of hesitation on these up moves. So I don't feel comfortable buying anywhere in this area, not to at least get down to the bottom, or just looking at it as, hey, let's find a place to short sell this thing. And as far as a take profit, I could see it going clear down to there. Now, that's obviously going to take several days, a couple of weeks or something like that, potentially. But look how much it's dropped in 49 minutes. I'm sorry, 51 minutes. That's a 4-hour bar, but that's pretty much all the 45 minutes right there. So, yeah, it's pretty wicked when you scroll out on a 1-minute time frame. Bloop.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is a little bit wicked here. For sure. Delco mentioning he doesn't like this area. I think he's talking about the NASDAQ. It's he wants to see above 23,550 for any longs. I mean, hey, I don't blame. Hey, we're Delco. I think you're definitely a patient man and waiting for your spot, your zone to come into play to trade your strategy, which I applaud for sure. Patience and like you said, maybe a couple of quick scalps here and there that look really juicy that you like. Don't blame me at all. Being dynamic, watching in real time how price is moving, how volume. Yeah, exactly. That's what we do. That's what we do, especially on the live the future session. Like me, Coach Sam, Coach Tony, Coach Troy. We're watching order flow. We have third-party data order flow that we are watching literally like a hawk, constantly analyzing volume, trading literally at seconds of time, and trying to understand the personality of the market and what its current structure is telling us. So we're right there with you on that for sure. So you're not alone, my friend. Definitely dynamic. I agree. Be dynamic. Be ever changing to your biases. And if you have a bias going into the day and there's a certain structure that you expect and you are proven wrong, be dynamic. Switch the thought process. See if you need to go the other way, and move on. So.
This one was annoying this morning. This was Dow 30 on 1 minute. Bounced into this demand right here and spiked up really nice. And I was keeping an eye on it, but look how fast it moved. Just how strong that demand zone was. 1 minute time frame, just waking up. So I counted, and I went to my 1 second chart on my other broker. I have a 1 second chart.
Yeah.
And yeah, it did that. 161 point move, dropped in 6 seconds. From the top of this 1 minute candle to the bottom was 6 seconds. And so needless to say, I had zero time to get into that trade because I would have been chasing, if I'd have gotten in up here. I was keeping an eye on them. My alert hit, and I was in the middle of analyzing another chart on the stream. I'm like, limit order would have been perfect on that one. I mean, it was just perfect. Just bloop. It went up for about a 3 to 1 over the course of a few hours. But tis what it is.
Tom's in the chat. Great to see you. Yeah, Daryl's not going to actually be on the stream tomorrow. He's also off tomorrow, so you got to wait till Thursday. Nothing much. We're just wrapping up this session. Actually, we've only got 5 more minutes.
5 minutes. Wow.
I got long the ES. Thinking that the ES was going to make a move with the NASDAQ, and pity, fool. I'm just a fool. The NASDAQ's making the move, and the ES is just sitting tight right now. This is horrendous, but yeah, 5 minutes left, and I am still. This trade has been at break even for like 25 minutes at this point, and it is grueling. So,
yep. Well, at least if nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I got my limit, my buy stop in, but if nothing else, at least it was fun to watch a little bit of New Zealand dollar, US dollar price action.
Yeah.
As far as that,
for sure.
Great release. That's what I call, seriously, guys and gals, that's the popcorn trade of the day. That's whenever you get these NFPs and rate decisions and certain reports come out, you just want to put on a 1 minute time frame and just sit on your hands, have one thing of popcorn in your left hand or your alcoholic drink, whatever, maybe your soda, right? And take your mouse and actually wrap it around behind your computer so that you don't touch it. It's just very nice and safe. And then just watch the price action. It's always good. I tell people that what we just did right here is perfect thing to do sometimes. It just gives you an understanding of how quickly things whip around. And then here's the important thing. So you see the amount of, the relative height of the volume bars, right? The volume spread bars. Obviously, you get the release, you get the spike. Well, just a rule of thumb, it might be safer to wait till price bottoms out like it's trying to do now, a little bit closer to that. I mean, it's still going to remain elevated. But this is about the time I would feel comfortable about finding a trade, assuming I had a setup, because the volume has kind of settled down relative to obviously all this nonsense back here, which is where that release was at, that rate release. So, that's just a good rule of thumb. I mean, we clearly had the huge drop. It kept going, and now it's trying to act like maybe it might want to turn around. Who knows? But, that's just a 1 minute time frame. So there's really no trade to be had. If you're buying or selling, you'd just be, flipping a coin. You'd be guessing. So there's no real probability. There's no high probability in just buying or selling in that area. There's just nothing. There's no demand. There's no, I don't know. Let's go look. Was there a 4-hour demand back here? Oh, yeah. So basically still kind of waiting mainly on this area back here. I think it was on a 1 hour time frame, but yeah, 4 hours. There's just nothing there. It's just a lot of hesitation even when we had that up move. So I'm just steering clear of it. Might keep an eye on this one here. Maybe might keep an eye on this little zone right here. Okay, it did have a decent move up, but I'm stretching. I'm pushing it. I'm pressing, just trying to find a spot, and I'm just not seeing anything as far as a bounce to the upside. And I wouldn't do that anyway because they dropped the rates. So I say all that to say, just be careful.
Yeah, definitely. This overnight session has been it's been an interesting one. We got like you said, we got to see the NZD make some moves. The overnight was for the equities was, very bearish, got to catch a nice, move down on the Dow, and then get just absolutely chopped up here on the NQ in the last hour. But tis the life of a trader, living and learning here in the overnight session for sure, and loving it, honestly. So,
I love this.
Yeah. We got 50 seconds left.
It's not a ton of action, but again, it's just always good to sit back and watch a popcorn trade of the day, or dig a little deeper into some of the psychological stuff that people ask us. So we appreciate you guys and gals in the chat. We really do. If I obviously get into this NASI trade, I'll update it on Discord here soon. I'm not too awful far away, I don't think. Might get tapped in here any minute, right? So we'll definitely get that updated if so. And if not, then I'll figure out something else.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you again Thursday night. I'll have to get an update on that, if that trade pans out or not. And but I'll see you Thursday night. And chat. Please tune in. Please tune in again tomorrow night with Coach Tiger, and I believe Tony is going to be with you tomorrow night, right?
Tony, okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and the Forex Fire session tomorrow morning, and then the futures session starting at 9:20 a.m. So please tune in. It was good to see all you guys. Delco, Rise and Grind, Tom, etc. It's been great.
In my trade now, there's no turning back. We'll talk to you guys.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. See you, Coach Tiger.
Have a good one. All right, buddy.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.